Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we are here to test out the brand new Earth Mjurran, however you want to say her name, depending on what translation you want to talk about. But we don't really get into that details because I say every name wrong because I like it better. So she is the first battle unit of the Earth 2.0 meta. She is a defensive growth unit. She uses a book. She has magic damage. Her skills, single target ult, and her ult effect is counterattack resistance down on one enemy, 25% for 3 turns, which if you combine with the new Earth Benimaru, who's guaranteeing you counters, can work out fairly well. Her first skill is chance to reverse the stats of all allies 100%. So that is the first thing we're going to test out. We're not going to worry about damage testing because she's not a DPS unit, really. But this is what interests me. Reversing your attack and defensive stat. And will this be like, Velzard and Daggerel and Rain and those instant damages where it only takes your start of turn attack and defensive stats? Or are you able to modify those stats and then do the switch and then, get some really, really wanked out defensive stat that then switches to an attack stat and then you can do a lot of damage? We will test that. We also have to test the other effect, which is her increasing Earth attack by 10% for everyone, which I think passively stacks every 2 turns. So, 12 turns later, you can get 60% attack, Earth attack, which, 12 turns is kind of a big ask. I don't ever want to be in a fight for 12 turns. So, 2 things we have to test out. And then her second skill is a continuous 3-turn heal of 15% for everybody at the end of the enemy's turn. So not at the end of your turn, not at the start of your turn, but, well, kind of at the start of your turn, but at the end of the enemy's turn. So as soon as they're done doing damage to you, you will then heal back 15% of your health, which, can be nice, especially when HP is so crucially scored in Jubilee now. And then she also increases your physical attack resistance by 15%. Her trait, if you happen to have her over, level 80, is protection gauge every 2 turns, which is really, really good. This is a very, very, very good trait. So she will definitely assist teams outside of the Earth if you want to put her in a sub-slot, just like Water Shion does. She has the same exact trait. So let's get into the game and let's test out how she does. Alright, this is the first team that we're going to run. It's, the new, because it's got Benimaru and Aaron. But Benimaru, Mjurran, Hero, Aaron, Val, and Val. So, we've got Benimaru for the counterattacks. We've got you for your boosting. Hero for, because she's the hero. Aaron, she is an orb changer, and she, will help out the team a little bit. Valentine's our DPS, and then when Valentine is here for the greens, since, Benimaru does boost green skill point gain by 250%, so, the more greens the better, means we can use more skills. So, and she, also has a heal. So heal, counterattacks, rewind, crit, DPS, and then I kind of forget what Aaron does, so let's brush up on that a little fast. Orb change and max. Oh right, she's got the Rimuru skill, which I haven't leveled up at all because the meta just started yesterday. All right, please forgive me. Well, all right. Well, okay. We'll cut this out. Okay, so I didn't mention, but we are in Crucible 79 against Grucius, Sufia, and then Carrion. So, starting hand right here is okay. We can use Aaron's orb change right here and get, 5 greens. Let's go ahead and bring Val in for the hero. So, ideally, this skill right here, reversing stats. We'll test that after this fight. But I want to see this 10%. So it's 10% right now. Once we go to turn 3, is that just gonna auto bump up to 20%? We're gonna try and find out how much. Okay, well, let's send her last. Let's see how much damage she does. Obviously, she's not gonna do as much as a level 100 Valentine, but 52, 55, 47. Okay, so okay. And we pierce there. All right, well, he's dead. This isn't a very hard fight. All right, so you've got some guard up. Alright, we are close to having Benimaru. If we had the trait from Mjurran, we would have Benimaru, but we have a good send of Mjurran, so let's go ahead and use that. So 23, 25. Okay, so now it's turn 3, so now let's check her skill again. And it is up to... okay, it is 20%. Okay. Huh. Alright, so it's a passive stack. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to use it, and then it starts... it'll just sit there and gain power. So the long fight is definitely what you're looking for if you want to make the most of that 60% right there. Which, you know... most of the time, you don't want to be in a fight for 12 turns, right? That's asking a little too much. It's, I guess if Benimaru had defense, that'd be really good. But let's go ahead and let's see. Let's use this heal right here. So this doesn't heal us automatically. This heals us at the end of her turn. So let's go ahead and send some blues right here. Do some damage. And then we're going to take a hit. Alright, and then there's the heal, which Aaron didn't need any, but then we healed back up to full on the other 2 units. So that can come in handy if, you know, bosses are doing low damage to you. Like, you know, Jubilee boss 1 does like 1 damage to you the last 2 times. So, you know, healing up that 10 damage you've taken can increase your score. So right here, we have a 2-2-2, which I'm not overly fond of. So let's go ahead and get Benimaru in here for that almost guaranteed counter, 96%. Okay, so then let's use some Aaron cards here. Ooh, she might be dead. Oh, she's dead. Alright, well, we'll still have the counterattack up for Carrion when he pops in for 1 more turn. And we cannot get... okay, we can. Alright, so we can get a Mjurran all right here. So there's an attack. There's the heal. Oh, he didn't actually hit us. Okay, so he's going to nuke us next turn. So let's see if we can get this active. Because I want to get the counterattack resistance down along with counterattacks that we can actually hit him with. So hopefully Mjurran doesn't do too much damage. There's the last turn of our heal. How much is our stacked up to? 40% now. Turn 7. Alright, so let's do this. Actually, let's pop Benimaru first. Get the guaranteed counterattacks. Let's send Mjurran just by herself, just the 1 ult. Go ahead and watch it. This is the first time using her. Actually, ever. I have not used her. I mean, I've autoed the event stage, but it's not me actually paying attention, right? Rock Smash. We're a Pokemon now. She summoned a Pokemon. Alright, 19-9. That's pretty good damage. Alright, so resist. 38. 3,000. 6,000. We didn't really test how much he would do without the resistance down, but, you know, 25% we can infer. We would have done, like, what, 52 or something like that? I don't know, somewhere around there. Maybe less than that on the counterattacks. So, definitely in combination with Benimaru, it can work. I kind of want... no, he's going to die before we get to turn 12. Alright, so now we got another counterattack turn. There we go. So 34 from Aaron without the debuff, because actually the debuff was still there, right? Because it lasts for 3 turns. So yeah. Okay. So there's the continuous heal, there's the ult effect, there's the Benimaru counterattack. Now let's check out the defensive stat change, which I know we didn't use this fight, but let's go ahead and try it out now. Okay, so we're going to go into the next phase of Crucible, 80, against Octagram Millem, who also has, you know, a good amount of Pierce. But now we're going to bring Dark Protector Rimuru, because he gives us 50% defense when you use him. So, if we can, you know, use that, and then Mjurran or Valentine has a very good, you know, defensive stat, will that actually affect the change? So let's go ahead and move out. We'll have to take note of what Valentine's defensive stat is to begin with before we use it, and then after, and then the switch will happen, and then we'll see if it's just a straight up swap or if it's an altered defensive swap. We just have to get there first, right? Aaron's intro. Alright, so now I just want... oh, well, you know... we don't have a blue orb changer. We kind of do. We have 1 and 1. I feel like whatever unit comes next, whether it be Yom or whoever, will be an orb changer from blue to green to fit on this team. That way you can make full hands of greens. That way you can capitalize on Benimaru. Let's go ahead and bring in you for the hero. And we'll just go ahead and send everything. I guess we'll bring Hero back in next turn for her trait. That way we can get Rimuru. Okay, she nerfs oranges. Good to know. Alright, what is Valentine's stats right here? So, 88 and 83. So, if we were to swap now, we would actually have less attack, but more defense, which could come in handy. I don't know. But let's go ahead and do that. We got 4 of Mjurran, so we might as well send her. Pop, pop, pop. 34, 30, 38 with the, you know, the 110%. That's an entire hand of nerfed oranges. Okay. Okay, so we still have 83 and 83. I feel like we missed something. Oh, we're missing the trait from Ramers because the hero's down health. Okay, that's why. Okay, so actually it's fairly even now. So let's use Rimuru. Let's buff that defense up. I don't want to watch that. Alright, so now we're looking 83 and 12-4. 12-4. Now let's use the change, which we're going to get 20% attack, and we're going to reverse those stats, and we'll see if we have 12,000 attack or not. Status reverse, and the magic is... no. Okay, so it is a start of turn stat change only. So the 12,500 is a little higher than what it was before the change because we had a higher attack stat, just barely. So that is kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping that you could get some wanked out defense and then, you know, make yourself have a really, really high attack value right there. Sad that it doesn't work like that. So I guess Trainee will be good. She's defense growth. But I don't, in the grand scheme of things, I don't really see too much use of that skill outside of probably this Jubilee, just like most units are nowadays. Like, very rarely are units generalized, right? Unless they have a really good trait and they're good in the support slot. The hero, still the best unit because she's used everywhere. Her kit benefits everybody. This kit, this skill right here, benefits one half of the Earth team, and the other is defense teams? Teams with really, really high start of turn defense? I don't really understand. I guess if we could bring in someone else who has, you know, different defensive stats. I don't know. It seems very, very gimmicky, and I'm not a fan of that skill. I'm not a fan that you have to wait 12 turns to get the maximum value when it's still a 55-point skill. Like, 55 points to do at start for 10% earth damage and a reverse of your stat, which in some cases could be non-existent because they're so close. It's not a good use of skills right there. Benimaru will help you get it back if you happen to have a bunch of greens, but I don't see much value in it. So let's go ahead and use her heal after this. So here, actually, we get a good hand. Let's go ahead and use the heal. And then let's bring Aaron in for hero. And then we'll use the passive heal right here, 15 points. And wait. No, we didn't use a passive heal. We increased our HP up, right? Because it's Mjurran that does the heal. Right, I'm getting my units confused. They're still new, I'm sorry. Alright, well, we've increased our HP cap and our crit resistance, of which this Millem is not critting, she is piercing. So, unfortunate, again. we get another Rimuru, you know, get more defense, I guess. That's not going to change our stats at all if we use that skill. Oof, oof, oof. Alright, there's the heal. You didn't get it. Oh, because we already used the heal. That's right. Alright, well, regardless. That's the first test. How high are you now? You're up to 40%. Can we make it to... Can we make it to 12 turns before using that again? And then ulting with Mjurran? I mean, we might be able to. If we just send like one orb from here on out. We'll have to send Valentine away. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I don't want these units to get ulted, so we're going to swap both of them out. And then we're just going to wait until turn 12. And then we're going to use the full 60% Earth boost. So that hurt. Alright, there's another ult coming. She's got Pierce again, so I don't know if we're going to live to turn 12, guys. Might be a little janky. And there's a counter, so... Oh, she's going to die. Either from this ult or the follow-up. Okay, she's dead. Alright, Valentine's here. She's got extra defense. Oh, okay, so that's good. If she comes in because someone died, at the end of the turn, she will still heal from that. It'll take one of the heal turns, but, you know, that's good to know. Okay. You know, science is still a thing. We're still testing, right? Alright. Gonna move on to turn 10 after this, hopefully. Maybe get a heal in here. Because we only need 55 points, so let's, you know, make sure we can live a little bit longer. Alright, one more turn after this coming up. Let's make some defense just to ensure that we can live. Rimuru is also resetting our skill cost, which is also what Benimaru does, so that's good. Okay, so let's bring Mjurran in for Aaron, I guess, since they own those cards. Alright, so let's use this buff. It is now the full 60%. Let's use the magic boost as well on Valentine. And we're going to go ahead and send it with Valentine. And we'll see how much damage she does with just those two buffs. 45,000. You know, that's not terrible. That's not bad. The only, you know, downside is it took 12 turns to get there. Okay, so far, I'm not overly impressed with the kit. Let's try out a different team. Actually, let's try and have some counterattack fun right here. Alright, we're going to go into Conquest Millem now with, you know, the full Earth kind of defense setup. We've got the Golem for counterattacks and guard, Training for the heal. We've got the Chad and Kurobe for their defensive buffs and pierce resistance. And we'll see how Mjurran can do and survive in the hardest conquest still. For a lot of people. Some people it's not, but, you know, for some others it is. Especially if you're just starting out. If you don't have, like, Protector Shizu or something, the stage is still pretty hell. So let's see how easy she can make it. Obviously, you don't want to be in this fight for 12 turns. She does lose her pierce buffs after a while. But, you know, the Golem giving counterattacks, if we can get an ult off with Mjurran, get that extra counterattack resistance, then that'll be pretty good. We have a decent hand starting out, so let's go ahead and send this. Oranges are going to be nerfed, I think, at the end of next turn, so getting rid of all the oranges is very important. Okay, so right here, be good to have Frey or something. Let's bring Kurobe in for trainee. And then let's pop his defense skill, pierce resistance by 44%. And then also his orb change, because then we can get the Golem online next turn with some extra added on. And then we can just kind of work our way for a counterattack. on Mjurran, or not a counterattack, but an ult for Mjurran to help us with the counterattacks, right? So there's the orange nerf. Oh, she really hated. Alright, so let's do this. No, we don't need to watch that. We know what it does. Alright, well, we're not going to get a Mjurran ult, apparently, so we'll just have to deal with it. Alright, so right now, we are also stacking up that earth power on Mjurran that we can use, you know, eventually. We don't have enough points to use both that and the magic boost yet, but I'm fairly certain, you know, in the next couple turns we can, especially once we clear our hands of these useless oranges. We'll be okay. And that hurt quite a bit. Hopefully she doesn't die. Oh my god, she's gonna die. Oh wow, okay, well, let's go ahead and pop that now. Nah, well, okay, well, no, we can still do it. So let's do this now. We got 30% earth attack. So let's see how much damage Valentine can do here with that. Sure, we'll do this. Alright, so Valentine, 37, and we kill, actually. Okay. Okay, I mean, other units, other support units, give 50% earth, or, you know, whatever typing attack for the same price, and you don't have to wait 12 turns to do it, right? And you definitely get more than 10% at the start of the fight. So, that skill could be better. It could be better. I don't know why they make you drag it out. I know this is a turtle team, it's high defense, it's counterattacks, that's how probably the main source of your damage is going to come from. But I would more attribute us doing that stage with this team more because we have a 100 Valentine rather than anything that we did with Mjurran. I mean, 30% earth attack is cool. I don't know. We need to test some more with this. Let's see if we can find one more thing to do. I didn't realize that this video is already like 24 minutes long, so I think we'll end it. I'll continue testing her. We'll, you know, do Tempered Edge with her. We'll see how she holds up. But my initial thoughts on her are pretty underwhelming. It's very, very gimmicky. Probably even more so than Space 2.0. You know, instant damage was good. Frostbite is a great effect. You know, it can be used outside of the Space team. On any team that, you know, relies heavily on debuffs, or any, you know, anything that you can even put a debuff on, like the hero. Like, she puts a debuff, and you increase that crit resistance down even more, and it just helps the team out. But this, like, reversing stats, as we saw, is not as sweet as it could have been. I think if you were able to modify the stats and then swap them, it would be a lot better. And then the earth attack, it's, you know, what, 7 turns into the fight, you're at 40%, which is still not as much as, you know, one of the normal elemental supports like Millem or Leon. So that's also pretty underwhelming. I don't want to be in a fight for 12 turns. You don't want to be in a fight for 12 turns. And I don't want to have to wait that long to get a max power skill. Especially since this skill, you know, right now, even when you use it to reverse stats, doesn't really do too much. And then her second skill is probably more useful for across the game because of that continuous heal. It's not a big heal, but it is noticeable if you're not taking, you know, stupendous amounts of damage from Conquest Millem, right? Who, you know, melts your health bar. 15% is not going to mean much when you're at 0. Physical attack also, like, Conquest Millem is magic, so that's not going to help you there. It'll help you in Jubilee, it'll help you in Tempered Edge, the new one, because they're both physical units. So, overall, I would say still a pretty easy skip. I don't think that she's going to bring too much to the Earth team as it stands right now. We'll see what the other 2 units do, to see if they, you know, make her a little bit better, or just round out the team a bit. But right now, I'd give her like a 5 out of 10. And that's kind of being generous. So I think, you know, everyone can skip her. If you're really on the fence, wait another 2 weeks for the other 2 units to come out and then make your decision. See if you like one of them more. Or if you're still, you know, like, I like Mjurran the most, then, you know, at least you have all of your options laid and presented to you. So let me know what you guys thought of Mjurran's initial showcase. It's a shorter, well, it's only 3 fights, but I think we got a good feel for what she can do right now. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.